So, Michael, you look at this play. This is the last play, possibly of the third quarter. It's under review right now. I think this actually is a fumble. Bartlett made a great catch coming across, but as he tries to reach towards the goal line, nice reach behind to make the catch. He's going to reach the ball out to try to get to the goal line here. As he reaches out and then tries to bring the ball back in to secure it, watch the ball right here. Come out. Right there. Ball is out. That's going to be Texas State football. And you see that a lot in all levels of football. Guys trying to get the ball to the goal line because all you have to do is break the goal line to get the score. So a lot of guys are reaching it out, but he didn't get it all the way secured back before he got to the goal line. That's a fumble. That's going to be Texas State football, and that's why this review is taking as much time as it is, because I believe they've got to say where the football is going to be placed and if there's time on the clock to run one more play in the third quarter before they get to the fourth. You agree? You think the ball was out?
I would agree with that. I think we're going to get the clarification right here.
I think what they're saying, it was the quarter break here, but I think this is going to be Texas State football.
There's been about 27, I think, total WAC games that have been played. 33 plays have been reviewed. 10 have been overturned. And the average time has been 1:45, but I think we've exceeded that here on this reviewed play.
They had a lot of things to review, though. Where the ball would be placed, sure. If there was time left still on the clock in the third quarter. And clearly, they've now notified the Texas State side.
After further review, the ruling on the field is reversed. The ball was fumbled and recovered by Texas State at the 4-yard line. First down, Texas State at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
And that might be a case where the quarter break actually hurt Utah State because it gave them time to review it. I don't know if they were going to review that play. Certainly, the staff up here for Texas State was going to relay down to Coach Francione that, hey, we got to throw the challenge flag, but they didn't really need to because they had time during the break to review it. So Utah State, 2 turnovers in the third quarter. Bartlett again reaching out towards the goal line. You can see clearly ball is out right there. Texas State football.
So just the 11th reversal or overturned of a WAC conference replay as Fackrell in on the stop as Texas State starts the fourth quarter with a rush.
And just enough mistakes from Utah State to get the coaching staff attention of their kids going into the break, the bye.
Second and 8. Opening moments, fourth quarter. Arntz rolls out in the end zone. Incomplete. Will Davis with the coverage on that far side, looking in the direction of Erickson.
You see Willie Davis trying to step in front. He wants another one.
Well, he's got that skill to where he picks one off. He wants to take one to the house. I don't think there's any question about it. I don't think it's good enough just to pick off a pass. He's got to do something with it. He's got the flair for the dramatic, although he's limping a little bit maybe.
Trying to stretch it out just a tad.
So 3rd and 8 from the 6. Arndt. Pass is caught for a first down. Ben Aisha, the sophomore, with another grab. Led the team in receptions in that first half. Now they're saying they're waving it off.
Now they're calling it incomplete. I thought Texas State may have gotten away with a little bit of emotion, a false start penalty, and then a nice play by Arndt as he had the corner pressure coming from Will Davis to get it out there to Aisha, but either his foot was on the line or he was bobbling and going out of bounds, causing the incomplete pass. Utah State should get great field position after this punt.
Well, Johnson, who's been bothered by an injury, so he's their best overall kicker. Right? Punts, kickoffs, place kicking, bobbled at the 45, up to about the 37. So as you mentioned, a good drive start here for Utah State, leading 38-7. Still plenty of time left in this fourth quarter.
An injured Bobcat down on the field.
The officials are going to take a timeout. This does not look good. .14:03 left. Utah State leading 38-7 back after this. Ryan Williams was the injured Bobcat, the long snapper here with Texas State, and to be helped off the field. So it'll be Utah State football from the 38s.
So turnovers on 2 of the previous 3 possessions for this Utah State offense.
Keaton going to run. Another penalty marker comes out of the pocket of our official. Minimal pickup by Chucky.
So a little bit uncharacteristic. Utah State now penalties, a couple of penalties, a couple of turnovers. Although this one kind of looking the other way.
Holding, offense number 81. 10-yard penalty, remains
Got
first
Bartlett
down.
with the holding penalty. So just enough to keep your attention, to give you some things to work on. That first half may have been as clean a football first half or half of football that we have seen, and as dominant as we've seen. Here in the second half, a little bit of a lull.
I think it's only natural to get complacent when you lead by so many and execute at such a high level. Hard to just continue to execute at such a high caliber as Utah State's done the last 3 weeks. As Williams again with the rush. We talked about last 3 weeks, they're averaging 46 points a game. They're converting 53% on third downs. It's just, it's just been something to watch.
That was a nice play by Jopolo Bartu. I've been waiting all game to say Jopolo's name. Made a nice play on Kerwin Williams. Looked like Kerwin had a chance to get to the sideline and then down the sideline. Bartu was able to get him to the turf.
Might be their best overall defensive lineman, quick and smart. Coming in with 1.5 sacks, which has the team lead. Keaton, caught by Webb at the 37-yard line.
You know, you talked about Cam Webb, walk-on out of Mount Crest High School, one of 55 players from the state of Utah on this Utah State roster.
Came off. He must leave the game for 1 down.
Pride themselves on winning recruiting battles here in the state. And as they have taken out the Utes earlier in the season in overtime and then played such a competitive game against BYU, you know, you got to believe that with only a few limited scholarships left, and there's more and more Utah kids that are going to want to come up to Logan, especially as they make the move to the Mountain West Conference.
Here's Keaton, plenty of time. Almost deflected and picked off again. The third Utah State turnover. All coming in the second half.
That was Jared Jeter Gilman coming up with the interception on the tip ball. So credit Texas State. See, Keaton wanted to go deep, and that was that two-way player. Number 19, Chase Harper, the tight end, defensive end, coming in on the pressure, getting his hand on the football, and Gilman comes down with the INT. 3 turnovers here in the second half for Utah State. As you mentioned, one of the bugaboos.
-4 coming into today's game. Nowhere to go here. Bojay in this defense.
And you're in a little bit of a quandary if you're Gary Anderson and Matt Wells, because you want to get your guys out of the game and keep them healthy and rested, knowing that you've got really a WAC championship contest in 2 weeks. But you don't want to go out on sort of a down note. And so do you keep your first team guys in and give them one more series before you get a couple more guys a chance to play? Or do you take them out now and not risk any injury?
2nd and 11. Here's Arndt. Again, pressure. Incomplete. The far side. Late penalty marker comes out. So Williams standing over one of the offensive linemen for Texas State. That was a late flag. Utah State not penalized at all in that first half. Second half, the 3 turnovers, more penalties.
Personal foul offense, number 72. Personal foul defense, number 70. Those fouls offset.
Offsetting calls here, but still committing a penalty.
And this game is really kind of ground down to a little bit of a halt here in the second half. There was so much movement, energy in the first half.
So a 3rd and 11 now for the Bobcats. 3-4 on the season. Next week will be against Louisiana Tech. Gaines with the catch. Doesn't even get back to the original line of scrimmage.
Travis Seafelt, freshman, coming down the line of scrimmage, recognizing the wide receiver screen and laying the lumber. So 3 and out after the interception. Good response from the Utah State defense.
Johnson punt the football away. Cameron Webb back. Takes it at the 19. To about the 22 goes Cameron Webb, coming off a nice return game last week against Texas San Antonio. 10:42 left, 38-7 Aggies. Welcome back inside Romney Stadium. 4th quarter, 10:42 left. Utah State leading Texas State 38-7. Chucky Keaton put in another nice performance. And so Harrison now becomes Utah State's quarterback here in the 4th quarter to wrap things up.
And it's probably the right decision, although, you hate to go into a bye week with a 2 interception, your last play being an interception. And you know what, though? That'll fuel that young man. He's only got 7 interceptions all season long against 23 touchdown passes now. He's been very good protecting the football all season long, but that'll eat at him a little bit and maybe motivate him going into that head-to-head showdown with Colby Cameron, the quarterback at Louisiana Tech.
Joe Hill also in the game. The last pickup was 3 yards. Harrison up to the 30-yard line. Craig Harrison, 7 of 8 for 79 yards last week against Texas San Antonio. 5 for 6 for 54 yards. Sophomore from Grantsville, Utah. Went to Snow College, a Snow College Badger. Van Leeuwen.
You don't mean to say that it's a head-to-head matchup between Keaton and Cameron at Louisiana Tech, but that game may determine who is the WAC Player of the Year.
And look at Joe Hill breaking tackles into Texas State territory at the 49-yard line. Joe Hill, sophomore from California. Last week, 7 carries, 21 yards, and a touchdown. Also had 3 catches for 65 yards and a score. Has an explosive run here of 21 yards.
And I think with that run, that puts Utah State over 500 yards of total offense again. I mean, it's just amazing, the last 4 weeks of offensive output. And now take Glover Wright in the backfield.
Glover Wright's got some speed now. Nice pickup on 1st down, close to another one.
I wanted to just elaborate a little bit. Don't mean to say that it is just the Colby Cameron, Chucky Keaton matchup in 2 weeks. That'll be fun to watch, but it will also probably, most likely be for the WAC championship. And that's much more important than those head-to-head individual battles. Ask anyone on this team.
Tech has to play Texas State and also San Jose State. There's Glover Wright to the 30-yard line. Of course, Utah State has La Tech, as we've alluded to, and then they finish off with Idaho, who's really having some issues. They fired Rob Akey, which I know that was a disappointment for Coach Anderson, who's very close with Coach Akey. So Jason Gesser, who was calling games just a couple of years ago, is now the head coach, the interim head coach for the Idaho Vandals. But Utah State, a chance for 11-win season, Kevin. Glover Wright got in the backfield. This would be win number 8.
When was the last time the Utah State had 8 wins?
Almost 40 years ago, 1974 was the last time they had 8 wins.
Amazing. Glover Wright. We've seen him play defensive back. We've seen him return kicks. We've seen him block kicks. Now running the Wildcat, which he did very effectively in junior college at Eastern Arizona College.
This is Hill. Talked to Coach Anderson about Glover Wright, and he said next to Chucky Keaton, he's got the most information to absorb. Because think about it, he plays offense, defense, special teams, had a punt block last week against Texas San Antonio, and third-string quarterback.
And now Nick Diaz, a 50-yard attempt. I think Coach Anderson secretly kind of likes getting this young man some confidence, and he's been kicking it very well.
Connected earlier on a 48-yarder, and this one off the crossbar. Only his second miss. 2 weeks ago he had one blocked, but that was so close to converting a 50-yarder. 6:46 left. Utah State leading 38-7. Or Larry H. Miller drive of the game.
It's really set up by the interception by Will Davis. Thwarted the great drive that Texas State had put on, and then the big play where Keaton, I thought maybe his best play of the ball game, getting outside of pressure and then throwing the deep ball to Matt Austin and then out to Bartlett, slipping out into the flat. Easy pitch and catch for the touchdown. The drive of the game for the Utah State Aggies.
Big hit there on Marcus Curry.
Now you're getting a lot of...
Pardon me, that's Dexter Imadi, the junior out of Texas.
A lot of young guys getting a chance now to play. I know that Utah State defensive coordinator Dave Aranda was really excited to get Terrell Thompson back this week. See him out on the field, number 12.
Timeout.
Out since the BYU game.
A timeout called. 6:11 left. Utah State still leading Texas State by a score of 38-7. Back inside Romney Stadium, still 6:11 remaining to be played in this fourth quarter. Utah State leading 38-7 over Texas State, looking to improve to 8-2 overall, 4-0 in conference play. Either ninth straight conference win, a program record. 2nd and 10 here for Texas State. Arndt skips one to Gaines. During the little break here, one of the male cheerleaders doing some backflips, and look out.
Oh, hit of the game right there, that young man. But now watch him run this way. And watch what he and Bojay Filamoyatu do, if we can get it. I don't get it. The big chest bump from Bojay.
The fans really got into that, and Bojay was exhorting the crowd to get loud there. It's good stuff. Texas State 3 of 12 on third downs, going up against the top defense in the WAC. This is a 3rd and 10. Arndt goes big ball, and Robertson out there with the coverage, incomplete. So again, the defense able to get off the field. Still 6 minutes remaining here in the fourth.
Other than that opening drive, I thought the Utah State defense very stout again. Only score was off a 6-yard drive for Texas State.
And Johnson again to punt the football away. NFL caliber leg. This is a beautiful punt. Webb's going to let it go. This will be down inside the 10. So at the 9-yard line is where Utah State's offense will begin this next series. You've been a fan, now be a part of the team. Join the Big Blue Scholarship Fund for as little as $10 a month to help Aggie student athletes be successful on the field and in the classroom. All contributions to the Big Blue Scholarship Fund are used to support educational opportunities for the nearly 500 Aggie student athletes. Call 797-BLUE to join the Big Blue Scholarship Fund. Be a part of the team behind the teams. So Harrison now in at quarterback. Nice run up the middle. This is Kelvin Lee. Last week, 9 carries, 19 yards. Also caught 2 passes for 42. This is the 8th game he's played in. Did a lot in that Southern Utah game. Imagine Utah State can continue to move the chains. He'll be the back for the next 5:15 of this fourth quarter.
One of the nice things of building a big lead is the ability to build confidence and depth.
Lee again should have the Utah State first down. Another kid out of Florida, South Dayton, Florida. It's been a nice fall so far. These Florida kids, they've seen snow maybe once.
Wait till February in Cache Valley.
It was so far, almost a Chamber of Commerce-like day. We talked about it, 55 degrees. That kickoff, been sunny. Just a beautiful fall afternoon here in the Cache Valley as Harrison runs out of bounds.
He had Cameron Sanders out there. Was that Sanders or might have been Reynolds on the top side? Broke open, but Harrison decided to tuck it and run. Of course, protecting the football, the most important thing at this stage. Keep the clock moving.
Does pick up a yard on the play, 2nd and 9. Glover right, handing the ball off. There's Lee up to the 30, should have another Utah State first down.
It's really fun to watch this Utah State offense and how well they're coached. I especially like watching the receivers blocking downfield on this running game. They maintain their blocks, they find where the running back is at, and try to give them a lane inside or out and give the running back a read option.
Lee trying to get to the edge, cuts it up. Solid pickup on first down, gain of 4.
And this time little Bruce Natson out on the outside trying to make a block. When you're 5'7", if that, and 140 pounds, it's a little difficult to take on a linebacker. See if we can see Natson out here on the outside. We might be able to see him right here in your picture. Just wasn't able to maintain his block quite long enough.
Glover right to throw the football, and it's caught on this near side. And a penalty marker comes out. Lars Gunderson, another Juan Diego product. First catch in the first pass by Glover Wright. I had a chance to ask him, are you ever going to throw it? It's like, I'd like to, I don't know. So he got a chance there.
And looked good on the throw.
After the play, personal foul, defense number 23, 15-yard penalty, added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
And these kids that don't get to play as much as others would certainly love to take this drive down the field and put some points on the board. And they've worked so hard in practice. A lot of these young guys will be on the scout team.
They'd love to hit 40 for the 4th consecutive week, and 49 at San Jose State, 41 against New Mexico State, 48 last week at Texas. San Antonio just tripped up at the 35-yard line. Glover Wrights.
Veliquette now making his 2nd tackle on the drive for Texas State. You can see the speed for Glover Wright as he gets to the outside. He's run this play a time or two in his career, and now he'll come out and play receiver.
Penalty situation on the afternoon. Might have another timeout here, and Utah State will burn their final timeouts of the afternoon, facing a 2nd and 3. Well, how about our Lewiston State Bank player of the game, Matt Austin? See the numbers, 4 catches, 124 yards, and a touchdown. There's the touchdown catch, but the 2 other ones, 60-plus yards to set up scores.
And this one might have been the best, where he went up and over the defender, made a play on the football.
And that was against Daryl Morris, who is their best corner, one of their best defensive players. And so the playmaker doing what he does best, making plays on the edge, setting up Utah State.
I think he's got a shot at the next level.
Austin?
Yes.
I think he's got a chance.
Does he have the speed, do you think, to make it happen?
That would be my one question mark, because, the hands is all there.
No question.
The route running, but can you separate from the defense? That would be my only question with Matt Austin, but a good leader. As you mentioned, a solid blocker, good hands, all that. Does he have that type breakaway speed? Do you have to have that in the NFL? Speed certainly does help.
can he play the slot? Because with his hands and his ability to run after the catch, and with his ability to block, maybe the best blocking wide receiver I've seen. And then he has such strong hands in the fade game and the jump ball situations. He's got the ability to go up and make plays. I think he does have a shot to play at the next level.
Well, I know he was at Bobby Wagner's pro day, taking that all in, and sure maybe taking some mental notes for when he gets a chance at his pro day.
He'll have one.
Oh,
no question about it.
Yeah. There'll be several Aggies with a chance to go to the next level. This is Natson. Cuts it up. Picks up maybe 8 on the play.
Yeah, great block out there by Glover Wright. Now playing receiver. So you're right. I mean, he's got to absorb an awful lot out there on the field. And he does so many things. You might be able to see it here on the end around. Here comes Natson. Maybe look right out in here. Now that was the sideline. Sorry, the telestrating experience a little lacking there, but Glover Wright made a great block to get him to the sideline.
Well, Keegan had a nice block.
Yeah.
Keegan Anderson, the coach's son, with a nice block on the edge. Lee trying to get another first down. This is a nice drive with the 2s and 3s. Gunderson had his first catch. Juan Diego winning big yesterday against Hurricane in that epic 3A showdown. Typically that's a 3A final matchup. They met in the quarters. So is good enough for a first down.
And surprisingly, Texas State taking the timeout here.
Tune in to Talkin' Sports every night at 10:37 on KMYU. See all the highlights and sports action from today on Utah's only nightly sports show. Check out Talkin' Sports tonight. KMYU, My Utah TV. Got a feeling Utah State's going to be on there prominently here with another impressive performance.
No question.
So Glover Wright, shotgun with Lee just to the right of him. Lee gets it on the handoff to the 15. Tripped up at the 13-yard line as we're inside of a minute to play. So will they get to 40 points for the 4th consecutive week?
I think Coach Anderson is saying, take a knee here.
Look at the run by Lee. Last week against Texas San Antonio, they threw on that first down. Then I think they took a knee kind of after that to don't want to rub it in.
Well, but you want to give your kids, your second and third team kids, an opportunity to make plays because you never know when you're going to have to make those plays in a pressure-packed situation.
Glover Wright going to run on himself. Doesn't get that one block he needed. Out of bounds. In about the 12-yard line, down to 13 seconds, 12.
So 8-2 for Utah State, and it sets up a huge showdown in 2 weeks in Rushton, Louisiana. That will most likely be for the WAC championship in 2 weeks' time. And this Utah State team looks like a team on a mission. Playing with a lot of confidence. Although give Texas State a lot of credit in the second half. It was 35-0 at the half, finishes 38-7. Thought the Texas State kids played awfully hard all the way from start to finish.
A lot of respect there with Coach Anderson and Coach Francione. I thought it was heartfelt.
But Coach A's been there. He's been on the other side of trying to rebuild a program. And that's certainly what Coach Dennis Francione is doing at this point for this Texas State Bobcat squad.
Utah State winners at home again, 38-7 over Texas State. They improved to 8-2. We'll wrap it up after this.